Okay, here we go. Queen of Summer, Queen of Autumn, Five of Autumn. Wow. I have this weird feeling that this came up last time, but I cannot remember for sure. And a Five of Summer under the deck. So 2 5s, 2 queens, 2 2 2. So it may be that during this time period, Virgo, either you or your crush or your partner has 2 love interests. It could also be that, well, let me show you the cards as I see them. So we have this Five of Autumn right here, which for me is often like a card of marriage or a relationship that's kind of been through a lot, but they're still managing to kind of get together. We have this Queen of Summer here, and then we have the Queen of Winter or Queen of Autumn right here in the center. So I really feel like you're sitting in your power here, Virgo. And it's almost like she's pointing at this Queen of Summer. So if there's not 2 people involved, and these are queens, but it could be kings, but you, Virgo, are very much in your power, and you're kind of looking at this woman in this particular deck, at this queen, and she's kind of falling into the past position, and it's almost like you're like in your power going, you know what, I'm the one. No matter what you do, I'm still the queen kind of thing. So if this is your partner or your crush, you may be considering 2 people, it's kind of like you, either way, you're going to be sitting in your power. But I also want to say that it could just be you also pointing to the kind of emotions that you're hoping to incorporate during this time period, because the Queen of Summer is all about her emotions. She understands her emotions very deeply, and she expresses them in a very nurturing, kind and loving way for the most part. And then we have the Five of Autumn. I already mentioned that. 2 5s, Five of Summer. So quite a bit of change energy for you during this time period, Virgo. Very, very interesting reading so far. But I'll get additional cards on this as we go along. But let me get the cards drawn from the Romance Angels. And with all this change energy here, with the Five of Summer, the Five of Autumn, again, for me, numerologically, 5s vibrate at that kind of unstable frequency. So things are kind of tippy-toppy, kind of not necessarily settled is what it feels like. But what's really nice about the 5s is that we do tend to progress once we kind of get through this period. So it can feel a little bit difficult. And with this Five of Summer as an underlying energy, this could be an energy that's already occurred or is going to occur roughly in this time frame. It's a little bit of card of grief about things not working out maybe exactly the way you had hoped there. It says, trust that there's a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others and focusing on that which frightens or worries you. So that is under the deck. So you may be going into this time frame kind of feeling that way a little bit. Let me get the cards from the Romance Angels deck. But I'd like to see you right in the center here, Virgo. Even though there's 2 queens, having you right in the center is really nice because it shows me that you are very much kind of in your power stance here, power position. And your power position is just you feeling very in alignment with who you know yourself to be. You're not getting too pulled off in either direction, in any kind of direction. And for some of you, it could be that you, Virgo, are here in the center and you are deciding to marry a water sign. I can say it this way, even though they're 2 queens. And it's like kind of a long time coming. Like you guys have kind of been through a lot and now you're kind of going to head off to the altar. But with that Five of Summer under the deck, it's less likely, because it's kind of a little bit of grief. But there's certainly that possibility. It's a general reading, but that wasn't my first hit. I really do feel like I'm getting deja vu. So I kind of feel like some of these cards came up last month, which isn't surprising. Sometimes things take a little time to, you know, work through energetically. I mean, there's no hard stops to these energies, as you know. Could also be, for some of you, that you find out that someone is married and you're kind of like pointing at the other person going, you're married, and there's some grief associated with that. Because maybe you like the person or whatever. Okay, here we go. Unrequited love, calling in your soulmate, religious factors. Okay, and you deserve love. Under the deck, we all deserve love. Virgo. Okay, unrequited love, kind of a little bit into the past position, calling in your soulmate, your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together, and then religious factors kind of going into the future here, which would make sense because this is, for me, this is, again, kind of many times kind of a card of marriage, you know, going to the religious temple, church, whatever. So that would make sense. Like maybe you guys are kind of on the same page here with that. Or it could just be that maybe you guys are from different religious backgrounds or spiritual backgrounds. And this unrequited love, there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. It's kind of falling underneath the Queen of Summer, but it doesn't have to be associated with that water sign, but it could be. Could also just be that, I don't really like the text of that card because there's a million reasons that love goes unrequited. I kind of feel like for some of you, it may be that there's one particular party here, either you or the other person, who's a little bit void of emotion here, maybe a little bit into the past. Like they weren't quite prepared to step in fully to love. That's how it feels. It doesn't really matter because either way, you deserve love. This is under the deck and underlying energy. And I think for some of you, maybe that's the lesson, is that no matter what occurs here between these two queens, or it could be two kings, but it's showing up as queens, two people, no matter what happens, you do deserve love. Okay, so let me get one more card for you, Virgo, from the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And again, it doesn't have to be a water sign, sun, moon, rising here. It could just be another individual who kind of is holding those qualities of being very nurturing, very intuitive, very giving, comes from the heart, that kind of energy. But even she's kind of looking into the past. So Virgo, I see you as being very much, as I've already mentioned, sitting pretty. But there is quite a bit of change energy around you, so just be aware that these energies are present for you. They're going to manifest in different ways for each of you based upon your individual circumstances. And this calling in your soulmate right in the center, it just, for you, Virgo, it's just about keeping, because there's all this change energy here, it's about keeping yourself in a very sort of high, there's actually no lower high, there's no hierarchy, but we understand these words. So keeping yourself in a place where you feel very much, your vibration is at a high place, we'll say. You're keeping your frequency high by imagining the best case scenario rather than allowing yourself to go into fear and worry here. And I don't see a lot of fear and worry here, but I'll get additional cards. Okay. Temperance, major arcana energy. Well, this is not surprising, because if there's two people at play here, you're being asked to balance yourself, to be patient, of course, with this card, but also to allow things to Allow whatever's going to happen while you maintain your sense of alignment, as I've already mentioned here. As major arcana energy is in the area of physical and sexual intimacy. So it's important that no matter what is going on for you, that if you are engaging in a physical relationship, a sexual connection here, that you keep the sense of equilibrium. It's really going to be very important for both you and your partner. All right, I'm going to get some additional cards here. Let me get some additional cards on this Five of Autumn. But I kind of feel like I'm just going to go back to last month's and see as well, because it's going to be, I think these energies have not shifted too much. And even though this 5 energy is present here, sometimes this 5 energy can hang around for a while, especially if one or both parties are not that conscious possibly, or prepared to look at themselves or create change in their lives. Not everyone likes change. Princess of Autumn, the Chariot. Okay. So looking at this 5 of Autumn, which for me, as I've mentioned, is kind of, I feel like it's a couple who, either someone is married, this is how it feels to me, either someone is married and, or you are in a marriage, okay? Either way, you're being asked to kind of take it slow with this Princess of Autumn. It's about someone in this connection is taking their time to do some research, to make sure that they're prepared. And then things do move forward very, very quickly and suddenly, but only after a period of getting in alignment. Remember, I've mentioned this a few times now, and I think it's really important because it's coming in quite strongly, especially with the Temperance card here and that Queen of Autumn right in the center, you know, sitting in your power there, Virgo. Whatever is happening for you in love, it's not happening very, very quickly, or it has not been. But this is sort of the likely outcome of this 5 of Autumn. So whatever this 5 of Autumn is referring to for you, if it's your marriage, it looks like things are going to move forward quickly at some point, and there will be at least communication or better understanding between one another. And if it's someone who is married, and possibly they're considering 2 people, maybe they're thinking about stepping outside the marriage, or possibly, they're doing some research on this, and then suddenly they're going to make a decision and move forward, but only when they feel in alignment with themselves. I'm going to get some cards on this unrequited love. What time is it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the 2 of Summer under the deck. It's a beautiful card. So for you, Virgo, there is a lot of love here, but around this unrequited love. So if you have not been together for whatever reason, even if you're married, there's periods you go through where you're not necessarily together. There's been quite a bit of heartache around this connection. Whatever this sort of, I feel like it's a triangle. Whatever this is, you're in the center of it, and the more that you are keeping your vibration high, the more that you're in alignment, the more that you will not be whipped around by these energies, right? So this unrequited love, which is kind of, for me, is just another way of saying that you weren't able to be together, not necessarily because of the text of the card, what it says. There's been some heartache around this, and then it's kind of about the home. The likely outcome, though, is that there may well be something to celebrate. What that is, I don't know, because either way, you're kind of sitting pretty in the center, and it is about this connection, though, between the 2 of you. You and maybe it's a water sign here. Yeah, I feel like these energies are the same as they kind of were last month for you, Virgo. But it does look like things are going to start to move forward very, very quickly. And it has to do with this energy of kind of, if it's not marriage, if you're single, for instance, it's like you've kind of been connected to somebody and you're kind of trying to get there. And it looks like one or both of you has been doing some research, taking your time on this, wanting to make sure that you know what you're doing. and then things suddenly move forward. Maybe I'll get a couple cards on that from this Chariot. What's this Chariot about? I don't want to spend too much time on that unrequited love, because in a lot of ways I feel like that's in the past. Kind of with that Queen of Summer. Okay. So the the Chariot energy, this kind of suddenly moving forward, it's about success, Virgo, for you. Kind of being in the spotlight, maybe taking the relationship into the light. Either way, because as I mentioned, you're right in the center, so you're sitting pretty, and it's about new love. Someone is there's a lot of potential for love coming in for you. So whatever this has been for you, Virgo, it's going to play out differently for everybody. It looks like things are starting to move towards resolution in some fashion. But again, no matter what anyone else is doing, you are sitting pretty, Virgo. The more that you're in alignment, again, there's a lot of sort of energy here with people. There's quite a few court cards, and maintain your equilibrium, maintain your sense of balance. Be temperate with your emotions. Be temperate with your thoughts. And be kind and gentle with yourself as well, Virgo, because you are the most important lover of you. You're the first lover of you, and first and most important lover of you. And the more that you remember that, the more that you will, the way that we love ourselves is like we show others how to love us by the way that we love ourselves. And remember, you do deserve love here. This is a big message for you, and it's definitely going into the future here. So very, very nice energy for you. I'm going to get one more card for you, Virgo, from the Magical Unicorns. And I would strongly suggest that you look at the last month's reading, love reading, because I really think that these are some of the same cards. I can't guarantee it, but it feels familiar to me. I feel like with this unrequited love, I feel like someone, because it's kind of in the past for me, someone chose someone here, maybe a water sign or someone who embodies those kind of characteristics, sun, moon, or rising. And then you guys weren't able to be together. There's some heartache around that. And maybe they started up a home with that person, here. But either way, you're in the center. We have the Chariot with the Victory card and that Ace of Summer, all this potential for new romantic love coming in, new love coming in. So. I'm going to get one more card for you from the Magical Unicorns, Virgo. Healer. Wow. You have the power to help and heal others. I can't think of a better card to come up for any other sign, because Virgos are known as the counselors of the zodiac, the healers of the zodiac. And remember that a lot of the pain that you go through, I'm thinking of this Three of Winter. There's Chiron, the wounded healer, and I think of you when I think of that, Virgo. Like, it's impossible to be a healer if you haven't explored the the pain of heartache, right? In a lot of different ways. And so for this to come up for you, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful reminder that no matter what kind of you've been experiencing around this, it really has given you some beautiful gifts. And that's part of your power here. You have the power to help and heal others, starting with self first. And you start with self first by staying in alignment, by keeping your vibration high and maintaining this sense of, again, the sense of equilibrium, balance, alignment here, Virgo. So